Ashley Teasdale, who, I'm sorry. Ashley French, whose blog, again, quotes derogatory, sarcastic handjob motion, is very Markle coded, Meghan Markle coded. Meghan has her fans, deluded though they may be. I don't get it, but I mean, I hate her, obviously, with the Fire of a Thousand Suns. But sure, she's very beautiful. She's very beautiful, and she is. She makes a low bun work, which is not easy. Anyway, I can see that there's people out there who are like, how can I be more like Meghan Markle? And they don't mean it in the evil, manipulative sense. Like they mean it. I don't know anyone who's saying this about Ashley Teasdale. I'm.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So no matter where I go, what I watch, I decide to check out Shalon Lester for a while. I still wonder what happened with that lawsuit. Did she ever sue Meghan and Harry for that Netflix thing? She said she was going to years ago, and that seemed to disappear. I guess maybe her lawyer said, don't bother. I think it did boost her online, I assume, at the time. But anyways, yeah, you can't escape Meghan and Harry. They're so saturated. Everybody knows them. They just pop out. People pop out and say, something like Harry and Meghan or Meghan Markle. So this was interesting. In this video, I caught my eye. And this is one where it's called How to Be an Influencer. I thought the title was How to Fail as an Influencer. I don't know if she changed the title or not. Well, anyways, she has one called How to Fail, and I think it's the cover pick for it. But anyways, I thought, let me look at this. And I just wanted to ask out of curiosity, she's a top influencer. So you're wondering, what does it take? What's the formula? Do tell. And she does have her finger on the pulse. And to be clear, I'm not an influencer, obviously. I'm not trying to be, but I'm curious about people who do become influencers and why are some successful and others not. And so she gives her 2 cents. And I was wondering, because she points out the fact that, Meghan Markle's, really not, as everybody can tell, she's really not. She isn't a failure. It's because she kind of fails up, I guess. Because of the massive publicity that she gets, whatever she does, and the massive, and the fact that people, all of her lies and her deceptions, make sure there's always hate watchers, right? So that's what her real claim to fame is: the hate watchers. They know people can't resist because they know that she's going to put up fake Photoshop pics and backs of heads of kids that she, after wearing belly bumps and everything, and use a 6 or 7 year old child pretending it's a 4-year-old child and stuff like that. So it's like, it's endless investigation, and people, this is what the claim to fame is. So she's been very successful in that way. Yeah. So, but at the same time, as TRG has pointed out, this is all just a cover for her and Harry's political affairs and being heavily involved in trying to bring censorship. And you see it's really heating up now about the Childhood Safety Act. I mean, they're doing it everywhere now in the Commonwealth. Canada is doing it, as well as some laws trying to outlaw the use of religious statements or the Bible, quoting the Bible. If the person's offended that you quoted the Bible, like if somebody says to somebody, you better get right with Jesus, that can get you arrested apparently in Canada, from what I understand. But the point is, they want to control all speech online, and not only that, they want to arrest you if you say anything they don't like. And so, of course, what do Harry and Meghan do? They incite hatred wherever they go with their lies and deceptions and with their censorship, and they're pushing the Childhood Safety Act with a bunch of dead adults as cause for it, as a reason for it. So another deception with their death screens, using and abusing bereaving American families. And then Meghan has the nerve to trot over to Switzerland, the seat of Satan over there with the World Health Organization. No, Harry and Meghan aren't with the globalists. Oh no, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Meghan's just going on tour with the World Health Organization / the UN / the World Economic Forum. They're all the same thing. They're all tied together. Yeah. I mean, it can't be any more obvious, right? So, anyways, back to Megan's failure as an influencer. Uh, According to Shalon Lester, nowadays things have changed. Like in the beginning, you could have been an influencer just by being a wealthy, woman with leisure, just posting up a few pictures of your glamorous lifestyle and the food you're eating. But now, according to Shalon Lester, now that's changed. And now, if you want to be a big influencer, you've got to like put it all out there, all your private life out there. You've got to just, it's going to be raw. It's going to be real. It's going to be honest. And she's like, and also she says, and you have to deal with criticism. She's like, you put yourself out there, you got people that are not going to like you, they're going to criticize you, they're going to hate on you. Shalon Lester herself, she's experienced being doxxed, having stalkers coming to her home, So she's like, this is not an easy thing, and but at the same time, she says people who try to keep their privacy, they want to be an influencer, but they want to be private. So in other words, showing the backs of heads of children and using a fake home and pretending that's your home. Just like it being very putting up stuff that's very nondescript and vague and outdated and just photoshopped and other nonsense. Obviously, it's just is not a winning recipe. People want the truth. They want reality. They want real emotions. They want to know. They want real honesty and vulnerability and all that. This is what Shalon Lester is saying. And of course, yeah, not playing the victim like Megan does. The only time you've seen her so-called vulnerable is when she's complaining about trolls online and their hate speech. So it's a political agenda behind it. When Megalodon it boohoo-hooed on Netflix and whatnot. Either it was because the royal family was racist, according to her and Harry, or because trolls online. She's so trolled. Anyways, that's it. But other than that, you get no honesty about anything. You don't know how she feels about anyone or anything. She's not. And yeah, it's very, very fake and phony and shallow, and just very vapid and just unreal and not honest. So I'm curious: is Meghan Markle purposefully failing at being an influencer? Like we said, her and Harry court so much, but they've been just so deceptive with the fake baby bumps and the surrogates and so many other things that the photoshops they use and the AI videos and whatnot. They're so dishonest and shifty and shady and hanging out with Tedros, the World Health Organization, for God knows what reason, going to Jordan. Yeah. I think that he was going, it was right before Trump bombed Iraq or Iran, excuse me. And I think that they wanted to alert their Obama pals as to when it was going to happen, which would alert Iran, obviously. So because Harry doesn't have access to that, he doesn't have the IPP, whatever, intelligence to find out. So I think what he did was that's why he flew there, because Harry knew if he flew to Jordan right next door, that they would have to pull him out before the bombing started. They would have to get him out of the way, because even though he's not have access to that intelligence, they're not going to let him die and be in that danger. So I think that's that, and they knew that when Harry was called out of Jordan, that's when that gave a timing to Iran to know when the bombs would be coming. Right, that's what I think's going on. Let me see what that's. It's kind of shifting here, but I just brought that back. Like, what the hell are Harry and Meghan doing in Jordan? Uh, Meghan putting on that stupid sad face in the hospital, pretending to be sad for these children that she didn't give two hoots about. And she kept away 20-foot distance at all times. Anyways, let's see. Let me look at that Jordan question again. Why did Harry and Meghan go to Jordan? Is that on point there that he was like alerting them by when he left, when he was called to leave? That gave the timing for Obama and his pals. Two of Pentacles going back and forth, kind of chaotic here, two different places. Hanged Man, playing the victim here, almost getting himself killed there. Yeah, you guys see the Hangman here. He's like hanging over the world. It's like Harry traveled all the way, ostensibly from California, all the way to Jordan. just for this, and Six of Pentacles reversed. So I see some shady business, secret dealings going on here, and secret information being revealed from him and his humanitarian trip there of just walking around and with Tedros and looking at children in hospitals and causing trouble. So it does look like, yeah, I think that he was going back and forth, him and Megalodon there, to pretend to be humanitarians, but really Harry was hanging there in order to force them to reveal when he was in danger there. Meghan, going to Jordan, really? Harry's not safe in the UK. He needs extra security. Well, he probably does with all the migrants they brought in. Queen of Cups. I do the Princess Diana thing, pretending to care about these children. Him and Meghan can't even be bothered to do it. I got like a secretive vibe here, unspoken reason there for really being there. Ten of Wands. When he had to drop it all and leave. Yeah, so he was there, of course, putting on a show, trying to look like what he was doing, and he was putting himself on stage and waiting for the word when he had to drop out. Yeah, so it's quasi, Princess Diana, cosplaying and going over there, putting himself in danger, almost getting himself killed, knowing that would force the intelligence to, the king's intelligence there, to tell him to get out, push him out. I think this all lines up, and this is how he pushed back against, Trump and what he was doing there with Iran. But these are two globalist sides just battling each other out. It's like, whatever. Anyways, left, right doesn't exist. They're both on the same club, and we ain't in it, right? So is Megalodon, is she purposefully failing as an influencer? Is she purposefully doing this ridiculous stuff, these ridiculous posts? Her latest post today, I'm sure you've heard, is putting up this cheap looking t-shirt with a drawing by a child. And this one is very sus to me as well, because it says this t-shirt's inspired by a Beyonce portrait, satanic Luciferian witch Beyonce portrait. And you remember Beyonce and her husband stood in front of a painting of Meghan, calling her the queen. Yeah. So they're claiming that this drawing here was drawn by a 10-year-old girl named Pearl. Pearl, where have we heard that name before? Oh yeah, Meghan was gonna do a Netflix thing about a girl named Pearl who met with powerful women in history and it was such a feminist. Yeah, so how much you want to make a bet Meghan drew this? Yeah. And so $48 they're charging for this t-shirt, and allegedly they're sold out. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But isn't it amazing that they're just oohing and awing? Everything Meghan and Lilibet touch just sells out. It's like, wow, there are that many Sussex squatters, or is it because there was only like 2 or 3 made? Well, anyway, so that's that. So that's very suspect to me. Pearl, really, Pearl. Of course, there's no picture of the girl if she exists at all. Probably not. So, and of course, I think Meghan put that on her Instagram, apparently. I will refrain from analyzing from the photo. I think Meghan drew that. Did Meghan draw that picture? It doesn't look like a 10-year-old drawing. I'm no expert at children's drawings, but there's a certain way children draw and the way adults draw. And yeah, you can have a child prodigy. Everybody wants to think that everyone in the royal family has a child prodigy, but there's a certain way children draw. And yeah, let me just look at that real quick. So 1 second. Well, maybe not. Maybe it is 10-year-old. I forget. 10-year-olds have access to YouTube tutorial videos and all sorts of things that children in the past did not have. So this is a drawing of a 10-year-old from Reddit. Say my daughter loves drawing and she watches YouTube tutorials. So this was drawn by a 10-year-old. Usually, they usually like cartoons, like, I don't know, like the anime and stuff like that. You see a lot of, kids drawing. They're not normally into portraiture, you know what I mean? This girl seems good. Like she does, just doing a realistic portrait. So, I mean, she may be more advanced than the average, though. I just get the vibe that this is an adult who drew this, making it appear like a 10-year-old. I mean, look at the neck and no shoulders. Like, even a 10-year-old knows that a human body is going to have shoulders, right? And even a cleavage, okay? But this 10-year-old, but this one just draws like whoever's a head on top of an ant mound there. That's what it looks like. On top of a volcano. This is another 10-year-old child's drawing, my 10-year-old daughter's drawing. You see very stylized nose and hair and ears. It just, I don't know. I don't know what is it with this drawing that just, I'm just suspicious of anything Meghan Markle puts out. That makes me wonder, makes me suspect that it's not what they always claim. So everything Harry and Meghan does is deception or deceptive. So here's another example of a 10-year-old, very good portrait. But notice like the lines are on the face, it's a lot of erasing and redrawing uh, going on, but it's very, very good, So your level of talent is going to be how much work you put into it, of course, how many YouTube videos you watch or follow, the tutorials and whatnot. But these pictures are not so stylized. That's what, because this is what, this is more of a professional, stylized, simple lines, just putting in just enough lines. Whereas young people learning to draw or in early stages, 10 years old, you're going to be just starting out with, this type of thing. And, there's going to be a lot of erasing, a lot of smudging, a lot of, but this is an excellent looking face for a 10-year-old. And there's going to be the problem of some of the lines are dark and some are light, like the ears are very dark and the shirt is very dark, but the rest of the face is very light. The whole idea of making the values, making some parts darker and some lighter, that's, you learn later on, right, as an artist. So you're going to find that kind of imbalance, like some lines are too dark, some are too light, which is one of the reasons why I don't think, this was drawn like this necessarily. Like, I don't get the same messiness that you would get unless somebody went in with Photoshop and erased a bunch of lines. This looks too smooth. It looks too stylized to me to be a child. It looks more like an adult drew this and claimed it's a 10-year-old, in my opinion. And you don't know if this is drawn by hand or it was traced, most likely, because this is just too perfect, I think, for a 10-year-old. I could be wrong, but I kind of doubt it, because even an adult, just free hands, wouldn't draw something so perfectly symmetrical and proportional, the eyes, nose, and lips. And even as the commenters said, I mean, this is unusually good for a 10-year-old. So, anyways, let's just look at it. Can't trust anything with Harry and Meghan. You got to question everything, everything. Did a child really draw that exactly as that was presented? Did a child really draw that? Four of Wands. Oh, look at that. A couple with a daughter there. So I'm getting multiple inputs here. And I was just thinking too, those light boxes you can put, if you want to trace something, you put a picture on the light box and put a piece of paper over it, and the picture is see-through. So I'm getting from this, a light box was used to trace the picture. Yeah, I mean, because that was perfectly proportioned, that picture. I mean, that is for a 10-year-old to do that proportionally perfect and the shading and everything. Yeah. She used a light box or something. She got help there. She's like coaching there. I mean, of course, she had YouTube videos too. Like I said, kids are getting better now with lots of things. You can learn anything now, right? Full reversed. Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that this isn't what it seems. Exactly. I think he didn't, you know, mention whether it was tracing or not going on there. And even with tracing, it's still a very good job filling it in with all the lines and everything. But Three of Pentacles reversed. This is the expert card. So I think her parents are probably artists and had this kind of material like a light box, and she's probably surrounded by art a lot. That got her in very early into this. So a lot of help from the parents who are probably artists. He forgot to mention the parents were two Disney artists or something, like professional, like yeah, or teachers. That perhaps both their parents are like art teachers. How you got a 10-year-old's gonna draw like that? Oh, I forgot to ask. Oh, I'm thinking of that picture, and the question I'm asking is, okay? So this is about the question was, did a 10-year-old girl draw that Beyonce shirt? And I'm getting, again, help here from other people, not as it seems, being portrayed as, and not the expert, not this. It's not this very talented child. It looks like there was a couple of the lovers wanting. It was Meghan wanted to bond herself to Beyonce with this by putting this shirt on her child, but it's not. Yeah, it's not going to it's not making the money they're claiming it's making. They're claiming it's sold out and $48 for a t-shirt like that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Just like I don't believe the Sausage Squad ever raised 20, $30,000, maybe $100,000. Yeah, who's donating that kind of money to the Sausage Squad? You know, not real donations. Dark fund of money funneling through them. Yes, donations. No. In this case, this shirt is not. It's just Megan love bombing Beyonce because I think Beyonce is ignoring her. I'm getting love bombing here. Like, look what I'm doing for you, Beyonce. We're still good friends, right? Because I think Megan's feeling out of the cold. She's been out in the cold from her. So she puts up this shirt pretending it's done, but she's just making a fool out of everybody, doing another joke here on people. And this shirt is actually made by, it could be by a child, but with a lot of help from adults here. You know, photoshopping it, fixing it or whatnot, erasing out some lines and making it more perfect looking. So now, not simply a drawing that some 10-year-old just popped out, on their own. Or if she did, she's someone who's got an exceptional, unusually talented parents with materials around her that's gotten her that point way earlier than anyone else would. But at the same time, I don't think the girl did it on her own. I think she got help there. And I think Megan is love bombing Beyonce with it. Yeah, that's what Megan's doing. Is she love bombing Beyonce? Ooh, Emperor reversed. Things not going well, making poor decisions here, trying it. Her attempts to push her, her political agendas here in the governments that Megan's involved with. This is the shadow government that Obama's a part of, trying to take over the current government, trying to take over our capitalist society with their Marxist communist one, or the globalist agenda there. I lump it together, but Dr. K would say they're separate, but whatever. They're still on the same path, bringing in totalitarianism. And of course, Seven of Pentacles reversed. Megan can't do any work. She's too lazy to create something herself. And she's feeling like she wants to love bomb Beyonce because Megan's getting so much criticism that, of course, she doesn't like. So she is putting out this crappy t-shirt because she knows people are going to criticize it. And she wants to use this to distract from her dark, you know, government uh, activities. putting out this nonsense. This is her posting stuff on her tree here on her Instagram tree. Just post crap up there, knowing that it's going to get attention, negative attention and criticism, and this to help further her censorship goals to overturn our free society and our freedom of speech. I mean, it does. Everything she's doing is pointing in that direction. From her claiming that there's all this hate speech, and her Sausage Squad back her up with that, and try to claim that people are attacking Meghan's children. They could keep asking for the faces. You know, what kind of child predators are you? What kind of troll? They're accusing the Meghan side of pointing out that Meghan's always hiding her children and the ages don't look right. They're saying, oh, they're child abusers. They're asking these questions, how you pick on a child. So all of this is to drum up the idea that we need more censorship. You got all these people out there just trolling children, So this is everything Meghan does, including this. I mean, the fact that she's using a child's drawing, an alleged child's drawing on her alleged child without the face, of course. She's using children, because, like TRG pointed out earlier, she wants to get us in trouble for criticizing children online. Because what's Meghan's censorship angle? It's no child lost to social media, right? Even though she used adults in her little screen tombstones. Meghan's whole thing is, again, the funneling of trying to weaponize any criticisms of children or any negativity directed at children. So she's consistently putting up stuff of children, drawings of children on her, with a t-shirt on her child, because she knows people are going to criticize her. So she has a hate following. That's her intention from the beginning, to get a hate following. And she knows that's going to happen, and she can weaponize that and say, see, they're just attacking the children all the time. Is that what Meghan's doing? Because that's the vibe I get of what Megalodon is doing here, to confirm or deny. Is that what she's doing with this? Oh, this just fell over. Besides love bombing Beyonce, I think she's doing that as well. And this just fell out. Oh my goodness. High Priestess reverse. See, that's her secrets. Sorcery and secret intentions with this. So I think there is sorcery, witchcraft with this. And of course, Beyonce, in my opinion, not even my opinion, according to her fellow bandmate who came out and said Beyonce was doing satanic ceremonies backstage, which I get with a High Priestess reverse, just putting out this Luciferian satanic energies. Because again, they get energized when you watch or look or at their stuff. And she's putting that out with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, with no effort, without putting very little effort into this, and putting out this nonsense. It's too secretively. I could also look at this as secretively putting this towards her work for censorship, for child safety. You see, so yeah, she is. There's some Luciferianness, and look at this, and this bee. There's a bee there, and the High Priestess towers. There is always a J and a B, but that just stood out to me. It just jumped out at me. The B, the Beyonce. So there's some type. I think Beyonce is doing some satanic witchery with Meghan, and by using her name and image and her, just like I mentioned, Beyonce with her husband putting a painting of Meghan when they posed in front of that years ago. So now there's some sort of witchery, witchcraft, satanicness about what they're doing back and forth with this. And it's also to further Meghan's evil agenda with her globalist buddies there and Prince Harry, to bring in the censorship, the child safety. So beware of talking or mentioning her children, because she's going to keep bringing that up. Is Meghan using children to try to get Megxit in trouble, or any critics in trouble? I mean, I refer to anybody that criticizes Meghan and Harry as Megxit, because we're all just critics of Meghan. We're just all individuals who point out all the lies and deceptions of Meghan and Harry and their political agendas. So is Meghan trying to attack? Is she attacking her critics? I'll say it that way. Her critics with this, putting now recently with, and also recently putting up children's pictures and drawings Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. There's Megan in her kitchen drinking her wine all day. As we all know, it's what she's doing all day, not cooking. But yes, Megan is, I got a definite yes with this. That's what she's doing. She's using the children. Yes, absolutely. With the page there to attack people. King of Wands reversed, attack people online. And you can say that in a kind of a secretive way, not, but not really that secretive. If you see what they're doing, they are, but it's all agenda. Nine of Wands reversed to take out people online who are, standing firm and saying, nope, you used a belly bump. We're still going to say it. And she wants to take them out, take them down, deplatform them. Yeah, out of control here. She is out of control and she wants to use and abuse the power she has with her public relations. I always see this public relations using her, also see this as partly with her witchcraft and see that she's using, but also um, her and her Sussex squad, the whole team is a major arcana. So it's like a large group, team of people, as well as this strength card reversed. You can also see as the Harry and Meghan card, they're both doing the same thing in their own way. They're pushing the censorship in the same way. So yeah, I do think that there is, she is definitely doing all of this to perpetuate her agenda of the Child Safety Act, aka censorship, digital ID, arrest you if you say something she and her pals, Tedros, don't, and the World Economic Forum don't like what you say. Have you thrown in jail? Oh, Maggie would love to have all her critics thrown in jail. Oh my goodness, that's what she's waiting for. It's what she's pushing for. It's what she's in Switzerland with Tedros for. She wants to put you all in prison, put us all in prison. Anyway, so there you have it. That is what I have for you today. So I hope you found this interesting. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. All right, take care. Bye bye.